What's going on, guys? Brent031. Appreciate you guys tuning in. So I got a great product review video for you today. These are the new Taipan agility jacket and trousers. There's also a balaclava that we're going to take a look at, but these are featured in the awesome Phantomleaf camouflage pattern. Now, what is Phantomleaf? Well, I've got 2 camouflage effectiveness videos over it that you guys can check out, but Phantomleaf is a German camouflage company. They make several patterns. They divided their patterns up by zones. This is the Phantomleaf WASP II Z3A camouflage pattern, and as you guys can see, it has kind of a green base to it, and is very effective during this time of year in North Texas in the spring and summertime. There's also the WASP II Zone 2 camouflage pattern that you guys can see has kind of a tan brown scheme, and this works very well here in the fall and winter seasons as well. But these are both on the new Taipan agility jacket and trousers, and that's what I want to show you guys today. So I want to give you guys an up-close look at these uniforms, and then we're going to go out there and do a little camouflage effectiveness portion to see how well they work. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment. All right, guys, so before we go in and talk about each little individual feature to this uniform, I want to point out to you what is the obvious, what really separates these uniforms from others. And right off the bat, you guys can see that they have these little strips sewn in all over the uniform in certain locations. And what are those strips? They simply have little attachment points, okay? So that you can add artificial leaves, jute burlap, things of that nature, to add to the camouflage utilities to help break up that natural human silhouette. So right off the bat, guys, that is the big feature for this uniform that really separates it from others, okay? You can attach these directly to your utility uniform, and this is not a ghillie suit per se. This is just giving you that little minute ability to add a few, pieces of artificial camouflage to your utilities to help break up that outline. All right, guys, let's start with the collar and the shoulder. So you guys can see how the collar makeup here is, okay? So it's not like one of those Mandarin collars that, you like buckle up and stuff like that. It's your traditional style type collar. But all the way around this collar, you guys can see it has the strip to add that artificial vegetation there. And then on the shoulder portion, it's got the strips here to add the artificial vegetation on both the front side of the shoulders and on the back side. All right, so moving on from the collar down to the chest area. So, one of the biggest complaints I saw on the last time I reviewed a uniform that had Phantomleaf camouflage is guys really didn't like the Velcro. They thought there was too much Velcro and it was exposed. And I don't know if they, heard that criticism from my video or some other videos, but they absolutely, with this uniform, took steps to mitigate that, all right? So what do I mean by that? Well, here you got the section where some type of name tape or service tape would go, all right? And it comes with a camouflage covering, okay? So if you don't have a name tape or service tape to use, then you just keep that camouflage covering over it, all right? And you don't even see the Velcro. Another criticism that was on there was Velcro for use on the actual closure of the uniform. Now, guys, they have big buttons, okay? So no longer do or at least on these uniforms, do the uniforms secure with buttons, or excuse me, Velcro. It's buttons all the way down the uniform. And they're large buttons, which is very helpful in the winter time when you got like mittens and gloves and things like that on. All right, so, and the same is true for the breast pockets, buttons on both of those. All right. And these are very large breast pockets. And also on the bottom, as with other portions of the uniform that you guys are going to see, it has the tape, okay? That tape that has the slits in it so that you can add that artificial vegetation. Now moving down, again, you have the tape all the way around the base of the jacket that allows the attachment of that artificial vegetation. So you guys are seeing the pattern here. It's that tape is positioned in certain locations to help break up that very recognizable silhouette. So there's the inside of the uniform. All right, let's go. This would be the left sleeve here. So shoulder, you have attachment points for the vegetation. you have a shoulder pocket. Now this is a pretty large pocket, guys, and again, with buttons. This is not Velcro, all right? So you guys that hated the Velcro, there you go, you got buttons. It's virtually all button attachments for just about everything, okay? All around this pocket is your attachment points for vegetation, okay? On each sides and on the bottom, and then obviously you have attachment points up here on the shoulder, so it would overlap that as well. Now say you want to put like a patch on your shoulder, you know, whether that be like a identification of friendly forces type patch or a flag patch, you have Velcro there, and again, covered by these camouflage strips. And it's not just one giant patch to cover up the whole thing, it's stripped. So if you got something like a flag patch that only covers a portion of the you know, Velcro itself, you can take these camouflage sections and cover the rest of it up, and that way it minimizes the solid, you know, color of that particular Velcro section. All right, so moving down to the forearm area, you guys can see it's reinforced down here, and all the way around that reinforcement are your attachment points. It looks like there's not one on that side. So on the upper part of your forearm, and then the top portion, you're going to have attachment points for that artificial vegetation. Down at the bottom, the uniform itself closes with buttons. On the cuff, closes with the button. It is not a Velcro closure. All right, so you guys can see they have done away with most of the Velcro, and then the Velcro that is on here is covered up with these panels that are removable. So the opposite side arm is essentially symmetrical. It's the exact same as the other side. You have the large shoulder pocket. All right, you guys can see right here you have your Velcro panel. So if you want to put a flag patch over there as well, or you know, some sort of IAFF patch, you can do that. And then again, attachment points all over the arm, exact same setup as you saw on the opposite side. The back of the shirt has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of strips for attaching camouflage material all the way down the back, okay? And then also want to point out, in the armpit area is a mesh material, all right, so you have more airflow. So see, you guys probably see my hand here. I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, but this is a mesh material, guys. It is not the same material that's in the actual uniform itself. This is a mesh material to allow airflow to come in there, so the you know, the shirt and jacket breathes better while you're wearing it, to let that heat escape. So that is the shirt in a nutshell. And over here I have a uniform top that I've already done up with some of the 3D aspects, so you guys can get an idea of what these things will look like once you start adding that artificial camouflage material to it. So again, you can add as much as you want or as little as you want, but the idea here is to help break up that very recognizable human silhouette. All right, let's move on to the trousers. Looking at the pants now, and let's start with the fly. So the fly secures with buttons, not zipper, not Velcro, okay? And then moving on, you guys can see that you have wide belt loops for the belts, and also you have these tightening features, okay? So you can tighten up the pants here. As you guys can see, it's kind of collapsing there. All right, so you can tighten up the pants around your waist with those. Similar to BDUs, but obviously a more intricate mechanism for securing those. You have pockets right here on the front of the trousers, pretty deep, standard type pockets. Inside of these pockets is a mesh material, so it helps them breathe better. All right, that's front pockets, and let's look at the back here. All right, the back. So same deal, guys. Wide belt loops. You have a button right here in the rear. I presume that's for suspenders. Okay, so these buttons on the front can double for you know, your suspenders for attachment points. let's look at the seat here. So reinforced seat. All right, and flip back around. I think that's it for around the crotch area. Oh, actually, the crotch itself, guys. You guys can see it's got the mesh material. All right, so more breathability in your crotch area allows heat to escape. Now moving on to the side of the trousers, you have a large cargo pocket, just like most BDU style trousers. All right, but again, the big features here is you have these attachment points so that you can add that artificial vegetation. But this cargo pocket secures with a large button, and as you guys can see, it's a large cargo pocket. Okay, so inside that cargo pocket there is, let's see, 2 separators. All right, so, and it looks like some attachment points as well. So if, let's say you have a compass that you're keeping in your cargo pocket or something with a lanyard, you can attach it to that loop there, and if it falls out of your cargo pocket, whether you're doing low crawling or whatever the case may be, that will be retained by that loop. So that's pretty much it for the cargo pocket. Again, you guys can see it's got the attachment points all around this cargo pocket to add that artificial vegetation to help plus up your camouflage. Looks like you also have a lanyard attachment point right here underneath the front pocket. Moving down a little bit. So now we're at the knee area. So again, reinforced knee. It's got a Velcro opening here at the bottom so that you can insert a knee pad. All right, so you can have a knee pad on the trouser. The back side of the knee has a mesh material, so allows maximum flexibility. All right, so maximum flexibility and allow heat to escape. All right, so, and then of course attachment points for your artificial camouflage all around this knee pocket, or excuse me, your knee area. Okay, so moving down here towards the bottom, you have a reinforced area on the inside of your boot. Okay, so that's obviously an area that rubs a lot as you're moving, and you got attachment points for probably stirrups. It's all kinds of stuff going on down here. You guys can go on their Instagram page, and they have articles and descriptions about the uniform to help, stuff that we're not used to seeing, like attachment points down here at the bottom. Okay, so these would come into play, I presume, if you're looking at you're doing a lot of low crawling. Let's say you're like a sniper or something. Try to keep your pants from starting to ride up on you as you're low crawling. So stuff like that would come into play. Now these trousers have a very unique feature that were on the last BDUs that I got that had a Phantomleaf camouflage pattern, and you guys can see that this goes on, right? So you'd be wearing this, and then your boot comes on, and then this cuff of the trouser goes down and over the boot, and then you can tighten it up at the base with these buttons here. So it kind of helps keep this tight around your boot, and then this goes over it, and then you tighten it up. So it kind of eliminates the need for things like boot bands and things of that nature. This helps keep it tight around your boot, and then this goes over it so that you have camouflage coverage over the boot itself. So very unique European style trouser. You really don't see that very much here in the U.S., but I definitely like the concept. So interesting layout. All right, moving on to show you guys what these trousers look like. Again, I've already set up this pair of trousers with some camouflage material to give you guys an idea of what these trousers will look like once you add some of that artificial vegetation. And again, you can use as much or as little as you like. In this case, I opted to do essentially a minimum type of a setup because I'm not turning this uniform into a ghillie suit. what I'm turning this into is just a standard infantry style camouflage utility uniform that has those added benefits of some 3D material to help plus up that camouflage. But you guys can see how those leaves and artificial camouflage go on these utilities to help attain that effect. So here's the balaclava. As you guys can see, I've added artificial leaves to this one, and these are very simple. Obviously, they just go over your head, okay? And not much to it, guys. It just has some tightened down portions here, and you just pull on these cord locks, and then it will tighten your head. And then obviously it's got attachment points all down the top here, and then a couple on the sides, the strip to add that artificial vegetation. So lastly, I wanted to give you guys a look at the artificial camouflage. So this is the 3D leaves that they offer. And again, you guys can see, you just weave those in there and tie them up, okay? There's also, you can get, you know, artificial jute burlap string offered by companies like Miltech. This is a pack sold by Miltech, and it has all the colors you need. The green, the light greens, dark greens, browns, blacks, tans, everything you can desire to help plus up your uniform. But that's it, gentlemen. That completes my overview of this Taipan Agility Pants and Shirt in the Phantomleaf WASP II Z3A camouflage pattern. If you guys are liking what you're seeing, don't forget to check out my channel and subscribe. I've already done several gear and uniform reviews in the past, and I plan to do several more in the future. I'll also have more information about these particular products, as well as where you can find them in the information box. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment.